Hello, I'm Dr. Linda Parker, urologist and men's health advocate. If you're over 60, this message is for you. Tonight, I want to talk about the one drink that quietly agitates the prostate, irritates the bladder, wrecks your sleep, and leaves you more tired the next day. The highly caffeinated, sugary, acidic energy drink, especially when it's consumed in the late afternoon or evening. I call it the triple hit drink because it combines three forces that work against your prostate comfort after 60. Caffeine that overstimulates and irritates, sugar that fuels metabolic changes tied to prostate enlargement, and acidity plus carbonation that provoke urgency. If you've been waking twice or three times every night, rushing to the bathroom, or feeling pelvic pressure after long periods of sitting, there is a good chance this drink, or a close cousin, like an extra-large sweetened iced coffee or a supersized cola, is amplifying your symptoms. Let's make something clear from the beginning. Your body still adapts beautifully after 60. The prostate can calm. The bladder can relearn a steadier rhythm. Your sleep can improve. But it happens when we stop poking the system with the very triggers that inflame it. The worst drink is a perfect example of how a single habit can keep you stuck. Remove it, and you'll often see relief in a matter of days. Why is this drink so disruptive? Start with caffeine. Caffeine stimulates the central nervous system and increases urine production. In the lower urinary tract, it raises bladder sensitivity. That means you feel urges sooner and more intensely. When the prostate is already a bit enlarged, a common and natural change with age, any extra sensitivity downstream becomes a problem. The stream hesitates, the urge becomes urgent, the bladder contracts against resistance, and the brain decides, get up now. Add nighttime to the equation, and it's the perfect recipe for fractured sleep. Now add sugar. Large sweetened drinks create rapid glucose spikes. Over time, chronically high intake of sugary beverages contributes to weight gain around the abdomen and hormonal shifts that correlate with prostate growth and lower urinary tract symptoms. The prostate doesn't exist in isolation. It responds to the whole metabolic climate you live in every day. When that climate is calmer, steady glucose, steady insulin, steady weight, urinary symptoms often soften. Then add acidity and carbonation. Acidic fizzy drinks irritate the bladder lining in many men. Think of a sensitive throat and an acidic drink. It stings. The bladder has its own version of that. With age, tissues can become more reactive to irritation. Carbonation stretches the stomach, stimulates the diaphragm, and can indirectly nudge reflexes that make the bladder more jumpy. It's not dramatic in a single sip, but a large bottle in the evening can tip you from "I might sleep through" to "I'm up 3 times." Finally, add the simple math of volume. Most energy drinks and extra-large coffees are big. More volume equals more urine. At 10 a.m., your body can ride that wave. After 6 p.m., it becomes nocturia, the nighttime awakenings that chip away at vitality. Poor sleep increases inflammatory signals and sabotages hormone balance that supports prostate comfort. This is the circular trap. The drink wakes you. Poor sleep increases inflammation. Inflammation worsens urinary symptoms. The next day, you reach for more caffeine. Round and round you go. So what should you do if you rely on that drink to power through the afternoon? Replace it without depriving yourself. You don't have to live in a gray world of bland tastes. You just need the right swaps and the right timing. First, shift your main hydration to the first half of the day. 2 glasses of water before noon, 1 glass after lunch. Add a slice of cucumber or a sprig of mint if it helps. Front-loading fluids helps you feel alert when you need it, and it reduces the need to drink large volumes later. Second, cut the evening stimulant. If you absolutely want a taste cue, go with a caffeine-free herbal tea around 7 p.m. Choose something neutral. Roasted barley tea, caffeine-free, chamomile, or a gentle mint. Keep the mug small. This is about ritual, not volume. Third, if you enjoy bubbles, move carbonation to midday and choose unsweetened mineral water. A single small bottle at lunch won't usually bother the bladder. Bubbles at night are far more likely to trigger urgency. Fourth, create a 10-minute wind-down that makes the old drink forgettable. Dimming lights, a brief walk after dinner, and 3 sets of slow breaths make it much easier not to reach for stimulation. The brain is trainable at any age. Tell it. This is the signal for calm, and you'll be surprised how quickly it adapts. I want to give you a simple daily structure that works for most men over 60. It's not complicated, and you can start tonight. Wake up and drink a glass of water, then move for 5 minutes. A slow kitchen walk, a few gentle squats holding the countertop, or a lap around the yard. This wakes up circulation and sets a calm tone for the bladder. With breakfast, choose a moderate cup of coffee or tea if you enjoy it. One normal mug is very different from a supersized stimulant. Pair it with protein and fiber, eggs with greens, oats with nuts, to slow the absorption and reduce the mid-morning crash. Late morning, have another glass of water. If you want a taste, add a slice of lemon, but keep it mild. Some men find citrus irritating. If that's you, switch to cucumber or mint. Lunch is the right place for carbonation if you want it. A small mineral water with food is far less likely to trigger bladder reactivity than a fizzy drink on an empty stomach. Mid-afternoon, when your energy usually dips, use the movement plus sunlight formula. Step outside for 5 minutes of daylight exposure and take a brisk 2-minute walk. Light and movement refresh the brain more sustainably than a stimulant. If you still want a beverage, choose a small unsweetened iced tea or a half-caff coffee and set a hard cutoff time. No later than 2 p.m. After that, the caffeine lingers into the evening. Earlier dinner should be than it used to be. Smaller portions help the body shift into rest. After eating, take a 10-minute walk. This is the single most underrated habit for men with nighttime urgency. It calms the nervous system, aids digestion, and tells the lower urinary tract to settle. Evening is where you guard your progress. Replace the energy drink with a routine that relaxes your pelvic region. Gentle breathing works. Inhale through your nose for 4, exhale through your mouth for 6. Place a hand on your lower abdomen and feel it rise and fall. The pelvis listens to breath. When the breath is smooth, the pelvic floor lets go of an unconscious grip that aggravates urgency. Men often ask me, if I cut the worst drink, how soon will I notice a difference? It varies, but many men report a change within 1 week. The first win you'll notice is predictability. Fewer surprises, fewer sudden urges. The second win is sleep consolidation. If you used to wake 3 times, your brain shifts toward 1 or 2, and sometimes you fall back asleep faster. The third win is confidence. When you learn exactly what to remove and what to replace it with, you stop guessing. That authority over your routine is a relief in itself. Let's talk about related triggers, because a single habit never lives alone. Alcohol is a bladder irritant and a diuretic. Red wine at dinner in small amounts may be tolerable for some men, but large pours, especially late, create the same cycle as the worst drink. More urine production, more awakenings, more inflammation from poor sleep. Spicy foods and very acidic sauces can bother sensitive bladders too. If you notice a pattern, keep those for lunchtime instead of the evening. Another overlooked element is temperature. Very cold beverages in large volumes shock the system, provoking reflexes that can increase urgency. Room temperature water sipped steadily through the day is kinder to the bladder than chugging iced drinks at night. Your posture matters as well. Hours of slumped sitting compress the lower abdomen and irritate the pelvic region. Lift your sternum, let your shoulders drop, and place both feet flat on the floor. Stand up for 2 minutes every hour. Add 5 gentle hip circles each time you stand. Blood flow improves, tissues relax, and your evening feels different. Now I want to walk you through a 7-day reset. It's not a detox, it's a calm experiment to show your body what life looks like without the worst drink. Day 1, remove the energy drink entirely. If you rely on it, replace it at 2 p.m. with a small half-caff coffee or an unsweetened iced tea. No stimulants after 2 p.m. Walk 10 minutes after dinner. Track your nighttime awakenings on a notepad. Day 2. Repeat the plan and add the breathwork before bed. 5 minutes of 4 in, 6 out breathing, 1 hand on the lower abdomen. Note the difference in how quickly you fall asleep after your first nighttime bathroom trip. Day 3. Same structure and add a short standing stretch at 5 p.m. Place 1 foot on a low stool, hinge forward slightly, and breathe. Then switch sides. This takes tension off the pelvis. Day 4. Test carbonation at lunch only, unsweetened, 1 small bottle. No fizzy drinks later. Keep dinner early and light. Day 5. If your nights are already improving, keep going. If you had a rough night, do not compensate with a late-day stimulant. Compensate with daylight and a brisk 2-minute walk at 3 p.m. Day 6. Choose 1 bladder-friendly evening drink, a small mug of chamomile, roasted barley tea, or warm water with a pinch of cinnamon. Keep volume low. Day 7. Review your notepad. Look for the trend, not perfection. Most men see at least 1 fewer nighttime awakening and a smoother stream when initiating. If that's you, you've earned momentum. Real stories help bring this home. Daniel was 67, a night owl with a taste for a large sweetened iced coffee at 6 p.m. He didn't believe it could make that much difference. He cut it for 1 week, moved his coffee to 10 a.m., and walked after dinner. He went from 3 awakenings to 1 or 2. What struck him most was his morning mood. He felt clearer and less reactive because he finally slept. 72 and loved an evening cola. For the burn. He switched to a tiny glass of mineral water at lunch and herbal tea at night. 2 weeks later, he told me his urgency before bed was almost gone. He still woke once most nights, but he fell back asleep quickly. He said, "I didn't know calm could feel this ordinary." 64, a frequent traveler who relied on energy drinks to push through. We set a 1 p.m. caffeine cutoff and a strict travel rule. No stimulants after flights. He carried a small thermos for herbal tea, used airport walks for sunlight and movement, and chose earlier dinners on the road. The benefit wasn't just urinary comfort. His blood pressure readings improved, and he felt more in control of his schedule. A few rapid-fire questions and clear answers will help you apply this without friction. Do you have to quit caffeine entirely? Not necessarily. Many men do well with 1 normal mug of coffee or tea in the morning. The problem is timing, size, sugar, and late-day use. Caffeine after 2 p.m. is the danger zone for your bladder and your sleep. Are diet sodas better? They remove sugar, but they keep acidity and carbonation, and artificial sweeteners can irritate the bladder in some men. If you choose them, limit to midday, small amounts, with food, and test your personal response. What about fruit juice? Large glasses of juice deliver a heavy sugar load without the fiber of whole fruit. If you enjoy it, keep portions small and drink earlier in the day. Citrus juices can irritate the bladder in sensitive men. Is decaf safe at night? Decaf still contains a small amount of caffeine, and the warmth plus volume can trigger nighttime awakenings. If you want a warm beverage after dinner, choose a true herbal option and keep the mug modest. Could tea be the worst drink? Strong black tea late in the day can create similar problems to coffee because of caffeine and acidity, especially in large amounts. But most men get into more trouble with energy drinks and oversized sweetened coffees because of the combined caffeine, sugar, acidity, and volume. Does cutting the worst drink fix everything? No single habit does. But removing a big trigger unlocks the benefits of the other things you already know how to do. Earlier hydration, movement, posture, and a calmer mind before bed. Here's a small routine you can memorize and repeat nightly to protect your progress. Stop all stimulants by 2 p.m. Eat dinner earlier and lighter than lunch. Walk 10 minutes after dinner. Dim the lights 1 hour before bed. Breathe 5 minutes with a slow exhale. Keep the bedroom cool and dark. If you wake at night, move deliberately. Breathe out longer than you breathe in, and avoid bright light. This turns a trip to the bathroom into a short intermission instead of a full wake-up. And because men over 60 often ask me about supplements and drinks that help, I'll keep it simple. Water is number 1. A small cup of chamomile or a roasted caffeine-free green tea in the evening can be soothing. Unsweetened mineral water with lunch is reasonable if bubbles are important to you. Be careful with cranberry juice. While it can help certain bladder problems, its acidity and sugar content can bother others. Always test your own response and adjust. I want to wrap this up with a single sentence that captures the whole message. Your prostate comfort after 60 improves when you stop provoking the system at night and give your body a predictable, calm rhythm. The worst drink, highly caffeinated, sugary, acidic, and often carbonated, does the opposite. Remove it, replace it wisely, and your nights will begin to change. If this helped you see your routine more clearly, choose one action for tonight. Skip the evening stimulant and take that 10-minute walk after dinner. Tell a friend who's been struggling with night awakenings to try the same for a week. And if you want more clear, respectful guidance on men's health in the second half of life, subscribe so we can keep building habits that protect your vitality with common sense. Disclaimer: this content is educational and not a substitute for personalized medical care. If you have acute urinary retention, fever, blood in the urine, severe pelvic pain, a history of bladder cancer, neurologic disease affecting the bladder, recent urologic surgery, or you are on medications that affect urination, seek qualified evaluation. Adjust beverages and routines in coordination with your clinicians, especially if you have diabetes, heart conditions, or kidney disease.